When enjoyed Nathan, welcome to my channel. My name is Stefania if you're new here. So I decided that today we would do a wear test between the Dior Skin Corrects Concealer as well as the new Hourglass Vanish Concealer. So one side I did the Dior and then one side I did the Hourglass. Just because I don't even know if anyone else is interested in this, but like I got excited about concealer this time around. Like I was just like, I need to try both of those. The Dior, probably I wouldn't have thought like, oh, I really need to try that. It was more just the fact that I was like, that's a lot of product. It looked very, it was hydrating concealer. And I was just like, that's not bad. It's 36 bucks because you guys saw me try out the Hourglass one a few times. And so I'm definitely more familiar with the Hourglass one, but I was like, I haven't bought it yet. I just went through samples and I was like, do I want to spend 34 or do I want to spend 36? And which one is actually better? So we are going to do a wear test, at least like 10 hours, and see which one I think is better. But I'm going to go ahead and stop talking so that we can get into this video. Please don't forget to subscribe down below. I would really appreciate it. And let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so we're going to start with the Dior side first. I've been messing around with the Hourglass one, so I kind of know what to expect from that because I've been wearing it now for like over a week every day. But I got the shade One Warm in the Dior, and then I have Cotton for Hourglass. So let's see here. So I just want to do a wear test. The Hourglass one wears well, but it seems to fade after quite some time. This one makes like claims that it's very, very like long wearing. So that's what I'm interested in for this one. And you get a lot of product, like I said. So those are reasons why I'm excited. And I was like, which one should I buy? Because price difference, it's only a few dollars, but the Dior one, you get a ton more in terms of product. All right, I'm going to put just a little bit more on that like inner corner because I feel like I need a little bit more coverage there. I got a little bit of like black and blue circles. And I will say packaging wise, I'm attracted. Like I love Hourglass packaging, but I like the doe foot on the Dior. I'm a big doe foot advocator. I really like that. All right, I'm just gonna take it on the side of my nose. I don't contour my nose or anything, so, and foundation usually breaks up there, so I don't mind putting a little bit through there. And then whatever's left over on the sponge, I just roll it on my chin instead of like putting extra coverage. And the same thing with my forehead. All right, so now I'm going to take a different sponge, and with the Hourglass side, trying to see if there's a difference between the smells. It's nice, like I can't smell a difference. Like there's, I'm really, really happy that the concealer, like with Dior products, usually has a lot of fragrance in them. And so I'm really happy that this one doesn't. I am trying the Dior Forever foundation though, and that definitely has fragrance. Like not awful, not like Huda's fragrance, but that's why I'm really surprised she's making a skincare line. Are you guys interested in that? Because I'm just like, how is Huda Beauty making a skincare line? Like if she puts that fragrance in her skincare, I don't think it's gonna do very well. Like I hope it's a fragrance free, like I just feel like that should be the rule now. Like base products and foundation products. I mean, base products and skincare, like no more fragrance unless it's like a lip gloss. Like that's what I have decided for 2020. Like I'm very tired of this whole clean at Sephora stuff, and then I read the ingredients and I'm like, wait a second. Is it clean? Like why does it have this much fragrance when obviously that's what someone's looking for? Like I don't get it. I really want to do a video on that and like do some research, but I don't know if that would be interesting to anyone other than me. Okay, so like I said, I'm still trying to find my shade in this. I just felt like it would match this one well, and I know for a fact that the Hourglass oxidizes a little bit. I don't know about the Dior. So I'm going to do some swatches on my hand real quick because I feel like it'll be easier to tell. All right, so I just swatched them on my arm, so we'll wait a second and see if anything happens in terms of dry down. But this top one is the Dior in One Warm, and then the second one is the Hourglass in Cotton. So Hourglass, I remember I talked about it. I felt like there were the shade range was a little odd. And there were a lot of shades where I felt like I could wear this one. I could wear this one. Like I tried out Fawn first and that worked out okay. If I wanted a little bit brighter of an under eye, that's why I went with cotton. And then I think there's like oat in between there that also worked for me. So very odd. Like usually that doesn't happen. Like I looked at the Dior's and I was like, I think the one warm. I think that's going to be the one. Whereas I looked at the Hourglass and I was like, I don't know which one to pick, which is why I do the whole sample thing. So I'm still like, ugh. Let's go ahead. I'm going to take my Hourglass powder and set both under eyes. I got a little, every time I buy something from Sephora, I get the little tiny Hourglass powders because I just can't, I mean, I know I just don't want to spend money on a powder, like expensive powder. Like I like my Fenty one just fine and my Huda one, so let's just press that in. What is your guys' favorite concealer at the moment? My only thing was, for some reason I love the way the Hourglass sits on my skin. Like I like the coverage and you don't have to use a lot. The Dior just definitely feels a little bit more creamy, but it also reminds me of like, you guys know I've been loving the e.l.f. hydrating one, and I feel like the hydrating formulas are generally like very similar in texture and finish. So that's my thing where I'm like, I want something more unique to my collection, which is why I get samples to know if like, do I really, really want this, or is it just something new that I'm just like, you're new and shiny, I need you, you know? All right, I'm just gonna take a little bit on the sides of my nose, just powder where I need it, which is not a lot. Okay, I have to hold the mic up closer, else it sounds like off. What do you guys think between the two sides? Do you notice a difference? Does one side look smoother than the other? Right now, I'm like, I don't feel like it looks like I have two different concealers on. I can't really tell the difference. So it's more gonna be the time, like the wear test, where I'm gonna be like, okay, what's worth the mid-30 range? But yeah, I like the way that both look right now. All right, so let me turn down this real quick again, just so you guys can really see the shades of the two. But yeah, as you guys can see, like, hopefully you guys can tell, but it definitely dries down a little bit darker than when first applied. So there is the differences. Again, the Dior one is on the top. So I'm going to check in like every 3 hours, and we'll see what's going on here, because I'm pretty sure the Dior claims to be very, very long wearing. Where I said like the Hourglass, it wears well, but then it kind of breaks apart a little bit at the end of the day. But I really like the way it wears until the end of the day, which my life usually has gone to shit by that point, and the rest of my face has too. So this is why I wanted to film my sister. She just got here. Oh, I'm outside. I thought I stepped on a piece of shit. Okay, we're good. I'm in the yard. So it is now 3:15, and I put this on at 10:30. So I still need to like finish the rest of my eyes, and I stopped to eat, and I haven't come back upstairs yet. So this is what we are looking like. I don't know if you guys can tell a difference. Other than my eye bags, I'm like, why does this always have to happen? I think I just have eye bags all the time. But I feel like they're very prominent today. Family stress, family stress. But yeah, this is what we're looking at. I feel like they still look really nice right now. I don't have a preferred side necessarily. I don't know. What do you guys think between the two? Okay, so between check-ins, I just wanted to go ahead and talk a little bit about each concealer. That way we have the points. I try to read Sephora reviews, not because I find them the most useful, but I like to know what people are saying. You know, it's just always good to know. The Dior Forever Skin Correct one, you are getting 0.37 ounces, like I said, 11 milliliters. It's a lot of product compared to other higher end concealers. It says a 24-hour wear, multi-purpose, full coverage, creamy concealer that corrects, hides under eye circles, redness, blemishes, and imperfections. It says full coverage, the finish is natural, liquid, and then of course, like, they always have to throw something in there, you know, to make it sound very fancy. So I feel like this is in every new product. You know what I mean? It's like, it's got to have something in there where it's like blue petals from the Himalaya mountains. I don't know. Something ridiculous. But this one says Wild Pansy visibly smooths and moistures the complexion. Okay. 24 hours though, hides under eye circles. Yeah. So those are the claims. Between the reviews, I do like to read reviews on products just to see what other people think of them and see what I agree with. Most of them, in terms of like the negative ones, it has a good amount. Like it only has 14 reviews, but it's got 4 stars. So people mostly knocked it for the shade range, which I will agree. The shade I got is 1 warm, which usually I'm not a 1. The foundation I'm wearing is also Dior, and I'm wearing 3 warm. So it works in that term, but I could see why people are having a hard time picking their shades, which I'll talk about in a minute, but I had a hard time finding my Hourglass shade too. So in that way, I feel like they might be even in terms of trying to find skin tones. A lot of people are saying like the darker shades lean a little bit too orange. Me, I got the warm because I don't feel like I'm a pink undertone. I feel like I'm a warm undertone. And then the neutral just didn't seem like it went well. So I can kind of understand that. The Hourglass one, I was overwhelmed where I felt like there were so many shades that I was like, oh, I could be this, could be this, could be this. Whereas the Dior, I was literally like, this is the one shade I'm going to get. So there's that one. And then let's hop over to what it says about the Hourglass. Okay, so for the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Concealer, you get 6 milliliters. So almost double is what you get in the Dior, because the Dior one was $11 and the Hourglass one is $34 and the Dior one is $36. So that's a big difference, very big difference. This one has 400 reviews and it has 4.5 stars. So definitely a lot more people have tried out the Hourglass for sure. It says it's a full coverage, weightless, and waterproof concealer with microspherical powders that blurs and brightens for up to 16 hours of skin perfection. So the Dior one says 24 hour. I don't know why you would need to wear concealer for 24 hours, but it could happen. You could be in a movie. Like shit could go down. And I judge those people. Like on zombie shows, I'm like, I can tell she has makeup on. How does she have makeup on right now? But anyways, not the point. So 16 hours versus 24. This one says natural finish as well. And let's see. So this one says to diffuse the look of pores. It's more about blurring than anything else. Okay, in terms of the reviews for the Hourglass one, obviously I just said that a lot more people have reviewed this concealer, but a lot of people are saying, not a lot, but people are saying things, okay, that they found it to be drying underneath their eyes. I do hydrate underneath my eyes, so I haven't noticed a drying, like cracking feeling at all, but that also could just be because I make sure to moisturize under there. I'm trying to help my skin and staying out of the sun. But mostly it was that. It wasn't necessarily the shade range. It was just more like they felt like it was drying, and people did say that they felt like it didn't last as like the 16-hour was not the case. So there you have it. One is saying that, they had a harder time finding a shade range, but they mostly love the product. Whereas, it's only 14 reviews, right? Versus 400 where it got really good rating. But they said that for, certain people were finding that it was quite drying. In terms of like feeling, I don't feel like either one is heavy on my eyes. Okay, so I finally finished the rest of my face makeup. If my concealer looks a little weird here, I did try on an abundance of sunglasses. Probably wasn't the best idea, but I would say it's pretty normal to do things, I'm like, you can't sit here like a statue and be like, that's a wear test, I'm like, no, I need to sweat. I need to see what's happening. So it is 5:26 right now, and I started this about 10:30. So it's been about 7 hours. So anybody else, I have to count on my fingers. I'm like, 10:30, 11:30, 11:30, 12:30. I'm like, I hope my kids are going to be good at math because I can't help them. But honestly, like I can't really tell. Let me turn on this so you guys can really see. but I can't say I tell a huge difference between sides. I made sure, like, even finishing the rest of my makeup to not touch that area. Like, I haven't repowdered or anything like that. So what do you guys think? Because at this point, I can't really say that, like, one side looks better than the other right now. Like, I'm just kind of like, I wouldn't be able to tell that I used two different concealers. So let's leave it on for another few hours. That will be the true taste. But yeah, can you guys, like, tell a difference between, like, obviously I had my normal creasing, but that happened on both sides. Like, that wasn't, like, one side specific. It just got into my little wrinkles. But yeah, let me turn this back up. I just want to make sure you guys can see everything really nice and clear. But yeah, I feel like they're both holding up well. So I don't know. All right, so I'm going to check in another few hours and we will end this. Hopefully we have a clear-cut winner, because right now I'm like, I like the, even though I like the Dior packaging, I like the Hourglass packaging better. It's just so nice and sleek. But at the same time, I'm like, do I want to pay for more product or more attractive packaging? And like I said, the Dior packaging isn't bad by any means. I don't know. So yeah, we'll check in another few hours. All right, guys, I just got back from dinner. It is 9:44. My dad made scallops and steak. I love it when my sister's here, because then my dad, like, goes all out and eats a lot of food. And I don't know why, but, like, I've developed a stress, like, because there's so many of us now. I'm just like, no, the kids don't get more scallops. Like, I need that. But anyways, I had told them I was doing a wear test, and I just said, like, which, you know, nobody in my family cares about brands or anything like that. And so I just said, like, which side looks better? And one, like, my, you know, the one that's staying here, she's like, wait, 2 concealers on one face? And I was like, yes, they're different. And she's like, I couldn't tell. But they said if they had to pick, that they liked this side more. And I said, why? Between, like, all my sisters. And they just said that this one looked more powdery. I don't know about that, but I don't know. I feel like I still can't necessarily say that, like, I love one compared to the other. Like, let me turn down the lighting so you guys can really see. But let's just say, I mean, they held up well. Okay, so I'm turning down the lights. But yeah, this one said it was going to be, you know, this is the Dior side, which is 24-hour wear, and then this is the Hourglass. And I feel like they both still look equally, like, good. I don't know if I noticed, like, the whole cakey thing. I do feel like from back here, let me fix the lighting a little bit. I still feel like the airbrush one is pretty smooth, but, like, they both are. Like, it was kind of like a, like, I don't feel like you can go wrong with either one. But money-wise, I mean, you also get a really good deal for the Dior. At the same time, like I said, I feel like I have a lot of hydrating concealers that it compares to. So I really like the smoothing effect of the Hourglass, even though it's, like, minusculely for the price. So yeah, I feel like you could go either way. If you're a little drier, then I would definitely say go with the Dior. This one was hard, guys. I don't know. I'm still, like, because there isn't that much of a difference, I would say save your money and go for the bigger one, you know, the more product in the Dior. But at the same time, I'm just like, there's something about the Hourglass one where I just really like the way it does look poreless compared to, I mean, barely. It's kind of like a dead heat. Like, I'm just like, you could go either way. I think you'd be happy. So I really like them. Like I said, I mean, the only iffy thing was if you were drier, then definitely go with the Dior. But I feel like they're both pretty dead even in terms of the way they look throughout the whole day. Like, I thought that the Hourglass one was going to wear off faster, but it stayed in place. So yeah, I don't know. Both, regardless, I try not to get a concealer that's in the $30 range until there's a, like, Sephora VIP sale. Just because that's expensive, you know? And like I said, like, it's hard to beat when I'm like, oh, if I'm just looking for a hydrating formula that's full coverage, I really like the e.l.f. one. Like, I feel like that's definitely more comparable to the Dior formula. Now, I'm sure it's a little bit better than e.l.f. I'm not saying that, but no. I mean, I kind of am, right? Whereas I feel like this one, the Hourglass, I'm like, I don't have a lot of ones where it's like a thinner but full coverage consistency. So I feel like for me personally, I still like the Hourglass more. But the question is would I pay more? Like, do I want to pay more for it than the Dior? Because I still feel like Dior is a great deal. Yeah. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts because I expected one to be way better than the other. And I'm kind of like, I feel like I could go either way and still be really happy about it. And I feel the same way for like everybody else. So my personal opinion is you can't go wrong. But price point wise, the Dior wins. There's something about this one where I really like the way that it sits on my skin. I don't know. I've also, I'm going to play around with them more. I feel like the true test of like concealers is to see, I am a no makeup person most of the time unless I'm filming. So I'm going to see how it sits without makeup on. I just didn't know if that would be interesting for anybody else just because I like to do that. I just need a little pick-me-up to make me look alive when I go to work. So I'm going to play with them more and I will definitely update you guys, but I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts. I feel like money-wise, the Dior wins. And I'm so happy it doesn't have fragrance in it. And then I'm also like, this is my first time wearing Dior, like the Skin Glow foundation for a full day. And I have to say, like, the foundation's holding up very, very nicely. But that smells. She smells. Anyways, besides the point. Let me know in the comments down below, and I will talk to you guys down there. I would love to hear what you guys think, and if you guys have picked up any of these concealers, definitely let me know your thoughts. Bye, guys. Dry shampoo. Does anyone else get, like, itchy with dry shampoo? Is that just me? I feel like my hair, I'm just like, yeah, gross.